Wild card weekend is officially over. We have our top 8 teams. Last week, I gave you guys my prediction on who I thought was going to pass through. I got 5 out of the 6 games right. The only one I lost was the Chargers. So today, I'm going to be going through my reaction to those games, my thought process on what I saw, and I'm going to continue with my predictions. So if you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. All right, wild card weekend started off Saturday. First game of the week. Texans, Chargers, Texans at home. And it was a pretty good game starting off for the Chargers. The Chargers came out hot. Justin Herbert looked great. J.K. Dobbins played great. Lad McConkey was Lad McConkey. They were just finding ways to move the chains, and that kind of hurt the Texans. And you thought that the game was going to continue to go that way. But the Texans made adjustments in the second quarter. The Chargers defense got overwhelmed. The defense of the Chargers actually played really well this game. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't show that, but they actually kept the Chargers in there for a long time. You go into halftime 6-10. Offense wasn't playing hot, but you're pretty happy about that, right? 10-6. You're like, okay, we have a chance. We just need one score, turn this game on its head. Justin Herbert obviously went on to throw 4 picks, a pick 6. Disappointing loss for Jim and the boys, but I still have faith that going forward, the Chargers team is going to see a shift. To me, the game was awful for the Chargers because it was Lad McConkey or bust. There was nobody else. Will Dissly had a tip pass that was intercepted. Quentin Johnson just has Kwame Brown hands. They're just bricks. He doesn't catch anything. Obviously, he's a big dude. He's a big guy. He's a big target, which you would like, but he doesn't get the job done. He doesn't catch the ball. I mean, there were definitely times where the ball hit him in the chest or within his radius to catch the ball, and he just didn't catch it. So it was Lad McConkey or bust. J.K. Dobbins, I saw him a lot in the pass protection. I saw him picking up players, picking up blocks, but it wasn't enough to stop the Texans. The Texans played great. Joe Mixon played okay. Obviously, the Texans go on to play the Chiefs. All right, moving on to the Steelers versus the Ravens. Ravens at home. It went exactly as I thought it would. Ravens beat the crap out of the Steelers. Steelers cannot get it done on offense. They don't have an offensive presence. Obviously, Mike Tomlin got a winning season again. He's obviously okay to do that. He has the capability of doing that. But he made a switch in the middle of the season to take Justin Fields out because they were winning games, but they weren't winning convincingly. And that has never been Steelers' type of ball. Their ball is to play defense, win that, run the ball, play hard, backyard football. And Russell Wilson came in and it looked okay. You know, they were making more passing plays. They were getting more out of the offense. But as you can tell, there was not enough being done. Russell Wilson didn't make the opportunities happen. They looked lackluster on defense, on offense, pretty much all year round. In this game, it showed as well. Derrick Henry, he went off. He's good for one. If you have a playoff game, Derrick Henry's always good for one. He's going to get you a free win. All right, next game up, we have the Broncos versus the Bills. Bills at home. Josh Allen versus Bo Nix. And I didn't think Bo Nix actually played that bad. I think that the Bills' defense obviously kind of showed up. They showed out. Josh Allen played his game. I hate to say it was a blowout because it looks like it, but I don't think it really was. That was Bo Nix's first game in the playoffs, and he played pretty well. I mean, all things considered, the Bills are just a better team. That's what it kind of boils down to. I know for a fact that if that was the Bengals in that situation, it would be a lot closer game. But the Bills pretty much had a bye week. I mean, it's hard to be mad at that. The Bills are undefeated at home. They're going to get the job done against the Ravens, I think, too. But, I mean, there's not really a lot of takeaways here besides the Bills are who they are, right? We know who the Bills are. They can score a lot of points. They can play pretty decent defense. We're going to see how they play against Lamar Jackson in that offense. But the Bills are them. They're the only team we're praying that they beat the Chiefs. We don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Well, at least I don't. I don't want to see them anymore. The quicker they're out, the happier I am going to be. So next game, we have the Packers versus the Eagles. This game was pretty interesting to me. I think Josh Jacobs did a great job. Saquon Barkley obviously made a classy move to end the game. He could have scored a touchdown wide open, 40 yards. He could have ran to the house, but he didn't. This was interesting because obviously you look at the score, and the first quarter ends 10-0. Halftime comes 10-0. And I think Jordan Love didn't play that bad of a game, but you saw a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Jaden Reed got hurt a couple times. He shook it off. He still played. I didn't see too much of Tucker Kraft. Luke Musgrave, I don't know what happened to him. I think he was a first-round pick, and they don't use him. Unfortunate. They used a lot of Josh Jacobs. He did end up getting a touchdown at the end of the game. Kind of a consolation touchdown, but I think Josh Jacobs played a great game. He was kind of the only person trying out there. I think the Packers defense did well enough to get them a win. It was just kind of unfortunate that the offense was very lackluster. Offense wasn't giving them the defense too much. All things considered, I think the Packers could have won this game pretty easily. They just didn't. I mean, it all kind of boils down to offense, right? And both of these offenses were pretty lackluster, to say the least. The Eagles just had a better defense. They forced more turnovers. They put their team in a better position to score the ball. So that kind of what it boils down to. Disappointing game, I think. I think the Packers deserved more. I think Jordan Love had a bad game, obviously. But I don't think it was that bad as most people think. He could have done better, obviously, but not mad at it. The last game, Sunday night game, pretty crazy of a game. Commanders won like I thought they would. I thought it would be a close game. I thought the Bucks could have got it done. I think it's unfortunate that you see Bucky Irving go for 17 carries, 77 yards. Bobby Wagner and that Dan Quinn defense is stepping up. They're kind of picking up these rookie players, these first-time players in the playoffs. And they're kind of showing them, hey, this is what it's like. This is what it's supposed to be like. You're supposed to feel like this. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be gritty. Every game is going to be tough going forward. Everybody's tired. Everybody's hurt. But you're going to have to find a way to dig deep and get it done. And that's what they kind of did. I thought the Commanders played really well on the run defense. And that's kind of what the Bucs rely on. You saw Baker Mayfield get into positions where he got sacked a couple times. Got sacked to put their team outside of the field goal range. So, it's like one of those games where it's like it could have turned either way. It was kind of waiting. It was kind of seesawing one way or the other. And it fell to the Commanders, and they ended up winning the game. Jaden Daniels played really well. I think that a lot of the teams that drafted high picks, like Caleb Williams, Drake May, a lot of those teams, they're looking at Jaden Daniels and being like, dang, we could have got that guy. And the Commanders just made a great pick. Dan Quinn is a phenomenal head coach. I think if the Cowboys, and they fired Mike McCarthy today, if they could have gone back, they would have hired Dan Quinn as their offense or their head coach. But he's at the Commanders. He's making the most out of that team, and I'm super happy for them. Last but not least, the Rams. Let's go, baby. At home in Arizona, due to the LA fires, prayers to those people. Hopefully they're okay. Hopefully they come out all right. But this was a game that I did not see going this way, but I did think we were going to get the job done. I do think that, like I said, defenses here, they both match up. They're equal. You could kind of sway the offense in the Vikings' favor because of Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson. But we have Puka. We have Kyron. Higbee was great until he got hurt. Then we have Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson. We have players to equal that out. But the difference kind of boils down to Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a great year. I think Kevin O'Connell makes quarterbacks look phenomenal, even if they're mid or average or a little bit above average. He makes them look great. Kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo back in the Niners days. He makes them look like that. He has a system to where the system makes that quarterback look phenomenal, like Kirk Cousins. You saw with Kirk Cousins, with the Vikings, he was great. And Justin Jefferson had a phenomenal year. And then Kirk moves on. He goes to the Falcons, and it's a different offense, different style. a different system, and he didn't play well at all. So you can tell Kevin O'Connell's getting the job done for his quarterbacks. So when J.J. McCarthy does come in, he's going to play great as well. But I think that they should re-sign Sam Darnold, give him the similar deal that he had this year, prove his worth, and then have J.J. McCarthy learn under him, and then year after that play J.J. But like I said, this game kind of boiled down to one thing and one thing only: defense. The defense, Matthew Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz. And the Vikings, all they pretty much do is blitz the quarterback. And Matthew Stafford kind of got out of the pocket. He moved. He manipulated the pocket. He manipulated the players. He manipulated the zones. He took advantage of his players being better than the defensive players on the Viking side. So that's kind of what it boils down to for me. I thought it was a crazy game. Going up 24-3 at halftime. The game was pretty much done at that point. The Vikings had no... They had no hurry. They had no hey, we need to go do this. We need to go win the game. We have to, line up quick, spike the ball quick, snap the ball quick plays, this, that, and the other. They just were slow. They were like, hey, man, the game's over. Heads are down. No fight in them. And that's what it boiled down to. That's how the game ended. Unfortunate for them, but happy my Rams won. Again, that's the end of the video. If you guys do enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. All right, so today's video, we're going to be taking care of these predictions. We have the Bills versus the Ravens. Bills at home. Derrick Henry got his team a win last week. Lamar Jackson played okay. This one's kind of easy for me. I know people are going to get mad at this, but this is obviously the one that's going to determine the MVP for a lot of people. I think Josh Allen is a better quarterback. The defenses are pretty on par. Derrick Henry's a better running back than James Cook, but it's close enough for me to give the advantage to the Bills on not all sides of the ball, but offensively, I think they're a better team. They don't have as many weapons, but they have the best quarterback. So that's kind of what it boils down to. That's what kind of shifts the teeter-totter, the seesaw into their favor. I think the Bills get it done. Last week, this one hurts because I had the Chargers winning. We had the Texans against the Chiefs. I thought the Chargers were a better matchup because they're divisional opponents, but regardless, Texans won. This one's tough for me. I want the Texans to win so bad. I don't think they're going to. I think the Chiefs at home, they had a week off. They had a lot of film to look at. They have a big sample size on the Texans. I think the Chiefs are going to force C.J. Stroud to play a better game than he did last week. He played an okay game, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot on the defensive side of the ball. The defense kind of beat the Chargers themselves with 4 picks from Herbert. So I have to take the Chiefs, unfortunately. Next game, I'll do that one last, actually. Commanders versus the Lions. I did have the Commanders beating the Bucks. This one's tough because I think that the Commanders are a good team. The defense is really good. It's tough because the Lions had a week off, right? And that's kind of what it boils down to for me, is that the Lions had a week off. They had a lot of injured players on defense. I don't know how injured they are now, but they had an extra week's rest. So this was really hard for me because I would love the Commanders to win. But I have a vision. I have a scenario playing out for me that I think is going to happen. So I'm going to take the Lions. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery's supposed to be back, right? That's too much for them to handle. Obviously, the Commanders did really well to stop the run offense from the Bucks. But the Lions are a different team. They have more weapons. They have a lot of skilled players, a better O-line. So I'm going to take the Lions. Last game, Eagles-Rams. A lot of people are going to hate me for this one. I told my family about it too. I think the Rams win. I'm sorry. I do think the Rams win. The Eagles look pretty bad on offense. Passing the ball wise, I think if Saquon can't carry that team running the ball and they rely on him too much, it's bad for them, right? Obviously. They don't want to run him into the ground. He's a phenomenal running back. He does really well. Jalen Hurts Has a great O-line. He's a great quarterback. He's elusive. He can get out of the pocket. He can throw the long ball. He's a good quarterback. But I think Matthew Stafford's better. Defense is pretty equal. I think the Eagles' defense is pretty good. They can rush the quarterback. They don't have as many defensive weapons as they did last year. So, like I said, people are going to hate me for this one. I'm taking the Rams away in Philadelphia. They beat the Eagles. That's how it shakes up for me. If you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.